The basketball world has been buzzing with a new debate, and once again the center of attention is Caitlin Clark. Over the past year, Clark has become one of the most recognizable names in the entire sport of basketball, not just in the WNBA, but across the global basketball conversation. Her ability to shoot from deep range, control the pace of the game, and deliver highlight moments has attracted millions of new fans to women's basketball. But recently, a different kind of conversation began spreading online. Some fans started claiming that Clark was being overlooked or even frozen out when it came to discussions surrounding the United States women's national basketball team. The phrase quickly caught fire across social media platforms, sports forums, and basketball talk shows. Supporters argued that a player with Clark's popularity and impact should naturally be at the center of conversations involving Team USA's future. Others pushed back, saying international basketball works very differently from professional league play. As the debate continued to grow louder, one voice decided to step into the conversation and address the situation directly. That voice belonged to Stephanie White, head coach of the Indiana Fever. When White spoke about the issue, her comments immediately drew attention because she wasn't just defending one player or one decision. Instead, she explained the bigger picture behind how elite basketball teams are actually
toe the company line.
Star player of the Indiana Fever and the face of the league, Caitlin Clark. What do you think? Of course she didn't. She never does, and this is why we don't believe she is the coach for Caitlin Clark. The way that she just backed them, benching her, not passing her the ball, all of this stuff, it is ridiculous. We got to get into it, man.
Do you think Stephanie White...
understand why this debate exploded so quickly, it's important to understand the incredible impact Caitlin Clark has already had on the sport. Clark first became a national sensation during her college career with the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball at the University of Iowa. During those seasons, she produced performances that quickly turned her into one of the most talked-about athletes in college sports. Her style of play was exciting, fast-paced, and incredibly entertaining to watch. Clark could launch three-point shots from distances rarely seen in women's basketball and still hit them with remarkable consistency. At the same time, she demonstrated elite passing ability, often creating scoring opportunities for teammates with precision and creativity. As the seasons continued, Clark's scoring numbers kept rising, and eventually she reached a historic milestone. She finished her college career with 3,951 points, becoming the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer across both men's and women's basketball, according to the National Collegiate Athletic Association. That achievement alone placed her name in basketball history. But the impact went far beyond statistics. Games featuring Clark regularly drew record television audiences. Arenas across the country sold out when Iowa played, and millions of new viewers started paying attention to women's basketball. By the time she entered the professional ranks, Clark had already become one of the most influential figures the sport had seen in years.
Sacrifice.
Just like as a coach going through that?
I think the biggest thing is being transparent, and I thought Sue set the tone in the fall, early and helping them understand that it's different in USA basketball. Everybody has to sacrifice for the greater good. Everybody has to sacrifice for the USA across your jersey. There are very few players who get to do what they do in the WNBA and USA basketball. You're surrounded by the best players.
Everybody has to...
First overall in the WNBA draft and joined the Indiana Fever, expectations immediately skyrocketed. Fans believed her presence could help push the league into a new era of visibility and popularity. Every game she played quickly became a major event. Television ratings increased, arenas filled with fans hoping to see her play live, and highlight clips spread rapidly across social media. Because of that massive spotlight, every decision involving Clark now receives intense public attention. When discussions began forming around future Team USA rosters, many supporters expected Clark to be a major part of that conversation right away. When some fans felt she wasn't being highlighted as strongly as expected, they began raising questions online. Was Clark being overlooked? Was the system failing to recognize her influence on the sport? Or was this simply the normal process of building a national team roster? The debate quickly turned into one of the biggest talking points in basketball circles, and that's when Stephanie White decided it was important to explain how these decisions actually work. Part 4
Actually is.
How she's played so far and the ability to get the coach here.
I thought she's been great. I think she really set the tone with her facilitating in game one. I mean, she's one of the greatest passers that the game has ever seen. And, now she's got so many weapons, on the floor and finding her way and, seeing what each player, what their strengths are, how to put them in positions to be successful. I thought she shot the ball well in game one.
She's one of the
Stephanie White
greatest.
brings a unique perspective to this discussion because she has experienced the sport from multiple angles. Before becoming a coach, she was a professional player herself and spent years competing at the highest level. Her coaching career has also earned significant respect throughout women's basketball. Because she currently coaches Caitlin Clark with the Indiana Fever, many people were especially interested in hearing her thoughts. Instead of focusing on controversy, White emphasized a principle that has always defined elite basketball programs. The most important goal is building a balanced team capable of winning games, not simply highlighting one star player. According to White, international basketball operates differently from professional league competition. When players join the national team environment, they often need to adjust their roles. A player who takes most of the shots on their professional team might share offensive responsibilities with several other elite scorers on the national roster. Defensive responsibilities may also change, and playing time can vary depending on matchups and strategy. These adjustments are common for many great players when they transition into international competition. White's message was clear. The process of building a national team requires careful evaluation of many factors, and it should not be reduced to a single narrative about
To blame the
player.
opponent.
Good. I thought she was good on the defensive end of the floor as well. Game two was a little bit different in the way that Puerto Rico came out with their pressure and being a little bit more disruptive. And we've got to be able to play different styles. She's going to have to be able to see different things. And at the same time, I think she showed why she's elite. And she adjusts. She played with great pace. I thought she looked really good. Playing a back-to-back.
The long
Game two.
history of the United States women's national basketball team shows just how competitive the selection process can be. Team USA has dominated international basketball for decades, winning multiple Olympic gold medals and consistently finishing at the top of global tournaments. Because of that success, earning a place on the roster has always been extremely difficult. Many legendary players have had to compete fiercely for their spots on the team. Coaches analyze numerous factors before selecting players, including defensive ability, experience against international opponents, physical conditioning, and how well a player fits into specific tactical systems. Sometimes the best offensive player in a professional league may not immediately fit the needs of a particular international roster. That doesn't mean the player lacks talent or importance. It simply reflects the strategic decisions required to build a championship-level team. White's defense of the system was meant to remind fans that international basketball success has always relied on teamwork, chemistry, and discipline. Even the most talented players must adapt to those requirements when representing their country.
Beginning to set in.
And attention to detail and the difference between, winning gold medals and positioning ourselves, not just in this tournament, but as we think forward to the World Cup. We want to grow. We've got a lot of new faces. We've got a lot of young players, and it takes a different level, even a different level than it takes in the WNBA when you're playing against the best players in the world on a nightly basis. And we want
It takes a different.
The passion surrounding Caitlin Clark shows how much women's basketball has grown. Few athletes in recent years have generated the level of attention that Clark has brought to the sport. Her performances have inspired new fans, attracted younger audiences, and created conversations about women's basketball in places where the sport previously received little coverage. Because of that influence, fans feel strongly connected to her journey. They want to see her succeed, and they want to see her recognized for the role she has played in expanding the popularity of the game. As Clark continues developing her career with the Indiana Fever, discussions about her future in international basketball will likely continue. Whether those conversations involve Team USA selections, tournament appearances, or future Olympic competitions, one thing remains certain. Caitlin Clark has already left a lasting mark on the sport. Coaches like Stephanie White are focused on guiding players within the structure of a team, while fans continue following every moment of Clark's career with excitement and anticipation. The debate about her role in the national team may rise and fall over time, but the attention surrounding Caitlin Clark and her influence on basketball is unlikely to disappear anytime soon.